in the end, when you have done everything in Lightroom you want to do to your image, you have developed it, you have enriched this with metadata, then you want to export the image and send it over to the client. And what settings you should use is the content, that's the word, the content of this video. So this image is ready right now and I want to export this image. So I can go to the library, and inside the library you have the export button over there on the left. You can also go with the shortcut Command Shift E and open the export dialog. And here I would definitely recommend to open the user presets even if you don't have a user preset right now. And then I would dial in the settings I will use, for example, for my website. So I always export to the desktop and I always put the images into a subfolder. And this subfolder is called 1600px for pixels sRGB. Okay, and the renaming is okay. I don't want to rename anything. Video, I don't have a video here inside Lightroom. And here at the file settings, I want to go with the image format with a JPEG and with the color space with sRGB, because I want to export this image and use it on my website. For the quality, I go with 84 because 84 is a sweet spot from quality to file size on a disk or on the server. And here at image sizing, I want to resize to fit. And here the long edge should be in pixels, 1600 pixels. The resolution, if you export with pixels, is totally up to you. Here you can dial in any number. I take 42 because 42, yes, some of you know why 42. The output sharpening is output sharpening for screen because I changed the size from 6000 pixels, in this case of this image on the long edge, to 1600, and so I want to sharpen with the standard sharpening after I resize the image. And here at the metadata, I want to import all the metadatas or include all the metadata, but I want to remove the location info and maybe person info if I have something. So this shouldn't be in my EXIF data. And before I now press on export, I can go to the left side to add. I want to add in the folder into the user presets. And here I say 1600px sRGB desktop. And go into a group, and a group in my case are just numbers because Lightroom is sorting this via name, and the O10 group is for web exporting. So I will create it. If I send this over to a client, I would go a little bit in another round or in another way, because a client will get the images with 4000 pixels sRGB. So I can change the settings to 4000. Here I can leave the resolution with 42 as well, but because clients often want to print the image and they don't have any clue over the resolution, but few of them heard that 300 pixels is for printing, or 300 pixels per inch is for printing. It's better to write here 300 pixels per inch, but it's totally not, this means nothing if you're exporting via pixels. So 4000 pixels, 84 for the quality, RGB or JPEG in sRGB. No sharpening because I don't size it so drastically, and I can leave the location info here in. So, okay, the client folder is the 20 folder. So 4000 pixels, sRGB desktop. And if I now need another, let's say another preset for a client, smaller web images or so, I can go in and say, okay, for the client just 1000 pixel, 1000. The settings are the same. Here, let's go to 1000, and so that the clients think that's okay. They know, or some of them know, that 72 pixels per inch are the web resolution. But as mentioned before, if you export with pixels, that's the only number that counts. So 1000 pixels, this folder is RGB, that's fine. Remove location info if they're using this for web, and then add this as a new preset. 21 1000 pixels is RGB desktop. So in this case, these are more or less the same presets, but when I now export both of them, I can say batch export and export, and now Lightroom will export both of these files to my desktop. And both of these files are here inside this folder. So this is the folder with the 1000 pixel sRGB JPEGs. And this is the folder with the 4000 pixel sRGB photos. So everything is fine. I can send them to my client, for example, with WeTransfer. And after I've uploaded the image to WeTransfer, I will delete these folders because, as I mentioned, or as I tend to say, the truth is in the Lightroom catalog. So you don't need to remain the JPEGs, the exported JPEGs, in some subfolder somewhere on your hard drive, because every time you need them again, you can export them from your Lightroom catalog, and you don't need to remain these exported folders for your client. If you want to remember what you have exported to a client, then you can go in and say, okay, here Tina, create collections, and here I can say client export, like this. And inside client export, I will take and put in this image. And now I know this one image was exported for the client. And if I need this in the future, I see exactly inside this collection where the images were, or what images I have exported for the client. So export your images, do what you have to do with this exported JPEGs, and after that just delete it, because the truth is in Lightroom.